Alright, the student actually asked me to do the O-level MF questions. I mean the O-level additional mathematics paper. So yeah, because normally I do for IGCSE. This is the first time I do for O-level, and the exam codes basically it will be the 4037. Alright, it's a Cambridge O-level. So yeah, so I will make two sections of this video, because I think like if I use one video to discuss all the 12 questions, this video will be a little bit long. So I will discuss until question number 6, and then 7 to 12 I will make it into the part 2. Alright, so do not waste your time. Let's have a look on the first question. Alright, this is the formula. This is a quadratic. You have a quadratic formula, you have a binomial formula, and then some trig formula over here. And yeah, some trig formula. Alright, so let's have a look on this question. Okay, this is 3-mark question. Normally when I see the modular sign for both sides, the first thing come into my mind is I will square both sides. Alright, so what I will do over here is I will square both sides. Okay, why I will square both sides? Because okay, I always say whenever the modulus you move to the other side, you will get plus and minus on the other side. But when no matter it is plus or minus, when you square it, it's always become positive. Right, so you just imagine no matter it's plus or minus, you square the whole thing, you will always get a positive, isn't it? So this is one of the method. Of course, later I can show you another method. So I just expand this one quickly. So I will get 25x squared plus 30x plus 9 equals to 1 minus 6x plus 9x squared. Alright, then I move this one around, I will get 16x squared. And then I move this one around, I will get 36x. And then I move this one around, I will get positive 8 equals to 0. So I will divide 4 for the whole equation here. Yeah, because the number can divide 4. So I get 4x squared plus 9x and then plus 2 equals to 0. And then I can factorize this one easily. I will get 4x and x. This one will be 2 and 1. Both is positive. So my x should be negative 1 over 4. And x will be negative 2. Right, this is one of the way of doing when you see the both side is modulus. Of course, if you want to like do positive negative thing, you can always do that also. So I will say 5x plus 3 will equals to positive negative 1 minus 3x. Right, so I have two choice over here, which is 5x plus 3 equals to 1 minus 3x. The other one will be 5x plus 3 equals to 3x minus 1, because multiply the negative into the both. So this one you will get 8x equals to negative 2. X will equals to negative 2 over 8, which is negative 1 over 4. And this one you basically will get 2x equals to negative 4. And x you will get negative 2. Right, so you will find out both also will give you the same result. But the problem is you cannot add positive negative for both sides, because if both sides is positive or both sides is negative, actually you getting back the same value. So either you positive this side and then this side will remain, or negative this side will remain. So I can do another experiment here. You can try to do something like 1 minus 3x equals to positive negative 5x plus 3. Okay, so I guess even you try this one, you will get the same result as mine. Right, but just don't do, because a lot of students will think modulus it will be positive negative, and then they will add a positive negative for both sides. But if you imagine it's the first time you do all positive or all negative, actually you are getting the same result. So just add it into one of it. But actually I prefer the first method. Alright, just depend which method you like. Okay, I will move on to the second question over here. So without using the calculator, express this one in that form. So this is 5-mark question. So whenever I see power have negative, the first thing is I will sort of multiply the negative into the fraction. So you just imagine when you apply the negative into the fraction will actually flip over. So you get 3 minus square root 5 over 1 plus square root 5. And next thing I will do is I will square both things, because the square is for top and also for bottom, right? So I will just expand it. So I will get 9 minus 6 sub 5 plus square root 5 square, which is 5, over 1 plus 2 sub 5 and then plus 5. Right, and when I expand this one, basically I will get 14 minus 6 sub 5. And then over this one is basically I will get 6 plus 2 sub 5. Alright, before I try to actually do the rationalize process, I will just simplify because both also can divide 2, right? So what I will do is I multiply half for both. Okay, so you just imagine I multiply half for this one, I get 7 minus 3 sub 5. And then I multiply half, I will get 3 plus sub 5. Because I always simplify the equation, the expression first before I actually start to do it. Right, and then I will do the next step is called rationalize. A plus B will multiply A minus B. So I will multiply A minus B. Alright, this process is called rationalize. So it's just something like because in order to like eliminate the denominator, so the only way when the denominator have the square root over there, the only way is like you need to square both sides, right? So therefore whatever term over here I'm going to call it A plus B, so I will know I will need to multiply A minus B. If let's say this is 3 minus sub 5, so over here I will multiply 3 plus sub 5 because I want to get the square for both. Alright, this is my logic, so I will just like do the bottom quickly. So A plus B multiply A minus B, basically I will get A square minus B square. So I get A square minus B square. Alright, then of course the top I will just like expand one by one. I mean 3 multiply first one and second one, something like that. So 21 minus 9 sub 5, and then square root 5 multiply 7 minus 7 sub 5. And then this one multiply this one, I will get positive 3 multiply 5, 15. Alright, so the bottom I will actually get 9 minus 5, which is 4. Alright, then this one I will actually plus them together. I will get 36, I believe. This one will get negative 16 sub 5. Alright, so this one basically I will get 36 minus 16 sub 5 over 4. Alright, so whenever you got something like this, okay, so a lot of students, they will make the carrot mistake like this. They will just simplify with one of it, and then they get 9 minus 16 sub 5. Okay, which is wrong. So make sure you don't. Oops, my God. Okay, so make sure you don't do that. Okay, I think I have some technical issue here. Okay, I will change my view back into 200%. Okay, I guess I just make it slightly bigger, 250 will be good. Right, so yeah, this one, I mean, make sure you do make this kind of mistake. So if I want to simplify this one, so what I will do over here is I will make sure I factorize out the 4 first. So I get 9 minus 4 sub 5 divided by 4. Alright, then this is my final answer, 9 minus 4 sub 5. Alright, if you want to do the simplify, you make sure you simplify for both. Alright, so you get 9 minus 4 sub 5. Alright, so yeah, this is just something you have to pay attention at. Alright, this 5 mark is quite easy. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so without using the calculator, factorize the expression completely. So you know this one should be the factor theorem. Okay, so the factor theorem for cubic equation, the first information is we want to find out what is the factor for this one first. So the first thing is, of course, I will always let the fx equals to the whole equation equals to the 10x cubed minus 21x squared plus 4. Alright, and then I will do some try and error to find out which value I substitute in, I will get 0. So I will do a quick one, maybe I try 2, because okay, what number I should try is always from the last digit over here, because you have 4, right? So you need to find out all the factor for 4, which is positive negative 1, positive negative 2, and positive negative 4. That means I can substitute any of this value into the equation, see which one will give me 0, then the one it will be my factor. So if 2 here, this one will be 10 multiplied 8, which is 80, minus 21 multiplied 2 square plus 4. So this is 80 minus 84 plus 4, which is 0. When f2 will get 0, that means, therefore, I will say x minus 2 is a factor of fx. Okay, this is a very basic for factor theorem. Then the next thing I will do is I will do a long division. This is 10x cubed minus 21x squared. But when you do a long division, something you need to pay attention is like you don't have x power of 1 over here. So I will need to add 0x power of 1 here. So in order to make the process of divide become very smooth, so remember to add it. If not, you will just stuck halfway, and then I will divide by x minus 2. So my objective is to eliminate the first term over here. So I will just assume the first one is basically I will do 10x squared, because 10x squared multiply x, I will get 10x cubed. 10x squared multiply negative 2, I will get minus 20x squared. And then here have an invisible minus here. So 10x cubed minus 10x cubed is gone. So over here you will get negative x squared plus 0x. Alright, so negative x squared, I will do negative x, so I get negative x squared minus 2x. So because of the invisible minus here, the x squared will gone. This one will become positive 2x plus 4. Then I will do plus 2. So I will get 2x plus 4. Right, done. So therefore, in order to factorize completely here, I know 10x cubed minus 21x squared plus 4 will equals to x minus 2 multiplied with my quotient. So that's mean my answer minus x plus 2. Of course, I want to see, can I factorize this one against those to get this thing. So I will just try to factorize this one. The quadratic, you all should be able to do it. I will say 5x and 2x. So in order to get 1, I will say 2 and 1. This one should be negative. This one should be, oh, can't. Because if this one is negative and positive, I will get negative 2 here. Therefore, I guess, let me do b squared minus 4ac to see whether how many answer for this term. Alright, so my b is basically negative 1 squared minus 4, 10, 2. So I will get 1 minus basically 80. So I will get negative 79, which is less than 0. So here, that means here have no more root for this quadratic. So you don't have any answer here. So this one will be your final answer. Alright, because you can't factorize this quadratic. Alright, so yeah, let's move on. Okay, so number 4. The point P lie on the curve y equals to 3x squared minus 7x plus 11. The normal to the curve at P, you have one equation here. So find the coordinate P and value of K. This one actually you have to understand what is the meaning of normal. So if you have a curve look like this, let's say you have a normal over here. Let's say, okay, let me change color. Let's say this is your tangent. It's a straight line. It should be a straight line. Normal will be, the line will be 90 degrees to tangent. This one will be your normal. So if the equation of normal, of course I want to find the gradient. You know, in this topic, I mean this is the differentiation. The important part is the gradient of tangent, because the gradient of tangent basically means dy dx. So what I will do is, since this is equation of normal, I will change it into y equals to mx plus c. So I have 5y plus x equals to k. So I can say 5y equals to negative x plus k. So y basically equals to negative 1, oops, it will be negative 1 over 5x plus k over 5. Right, this is 1 over 5x. Alright, so I know the gradient for normal. So the gradient for normal, okay, let me write again. So the gradient here will be negative 1 over 5. So I can easily get the gradient of tangent here. Okay, this line will be tangent. So the tangent and normal always will equal to negative 1, right? So you just do m1, m2 equals to negative 1. You can get your gradient of tangent over here will be positive 5. So therefore, I know gradient of tangent is 5. And the tangent over here, the gradient of tangent actually mean dy dx. Alright, so dy dx will equals to 5. You must understand this one. Alright, so therefore, I will say my dy dx will equals to 5. Then I will differentiate the curve. I will get 6x minus 7 equals to 5. So 6x equals to 12, x equals to 2. Because the question actually asked me to find the coordinate P, I will need to find the y also. So y will equals to 3 multiply 4 minus 7 multiply 2 plus 11. So this is 12. Okay, 12 minus 14 plus 11. Y equals to 9. So therefore, I know my coordinate P is 2, 9. Right, it's quite simple. So if you got the coordinate 2, 9, that means both the normal and the curve also passing by 2, 9. So you can find the c easily by sub the coordinate into the equation. So I'm going to sub the 2, 9 into this equation. So 9 will equals to negative 1 over 5, 2 plus k over 5. So I want to find the k because the question asked me to do so. So this one is 2 over 5. 2 over 5 will be plus 2 over 5 will be 47 over 5 equals to k over 5. So I know my k equals to 47. Right, 6 mark just like that. So you need to understand like what is the meaning of normal to the curve, and then you need to understand this one. You need to change it into y equals to mx plus c in order to help you to get the gradient. So after you get the gradient already, you know the gradient of normal is not so useful for you because you need to find the gradient of tangent. Therefore you will do the m1 m2 equals to negative 1 because you know normal is always perpendicular to tangent. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Right, so for this question, show that this one you can live in this pattern, alright, and when k is the integer to be found, so k will be a whole number. So the first thing is whenever I see these things, I know this one should be the quotient rule. I mean should be the product rule, right? So but most of the time I will try to check. If I multiply the 0.4 x power of 5 into the both, will it make it easier? But okay, so if I multiply 0.4 x power of 5 into the first term, yeah, it seems like it's easier. But when I multiply in the second term over here, that means I need to do the product rule for the second term here. So there's no point for me to actually expand it. So that means I will just leave it like that. And then I will call my first, this is u and this is v. So product rule actually tell me that copy the u, differentiate v, plus copy the v, differentiate u. Right, this is product rule. Right, so I will just copy the first one, 0.4 x power of 5, and then I will differentiate this one. I will get negative 1 over 5x, and then I differentiate 5x, I will get 5 here. Right, so 0.2 is just got 0, so I will plus, I copy the v is the whole thing, 0.2 minus ln 5x, and then I will differentiate the u. Right, differentiate the u, I will get 5 move in front, so you will get 2x power 4. Alright, so over here 5 and 5 I will simplify. Okay, and then the x and x I will simplify, left a power of 4. So since I want to factorize the integer, so I will factorize out the 2x power of 4 because I see the x power of 4 here. So here 0.4 can divide by 2. So therefore I will factorize out 2x power of 4 here. Right, the 0.4 after divide by 2 you get 0.2. Right, and because here have the negative, so you have the negative sign here. Alright, then I will plus 0.2 minus ln 5x. Alright, so 0.2 and minus 0.2 gone. The negative I will give it to the front, so I will get negative 2 x power of 4 ln 5x. Exactly like what they want. And you might wondering if negative 2 considered as integer. Yes, negative 2 is a negative integer, so it's considered as an integer. So this is how you get 2 mark. Alright, so and then he asks you to express this one in the ln 5x. So luckily I know like 125 basically is 5 power of 3 x power of 3. So what I will do is I will factorize out the power of 3 here and then bring the power of 3 to the front, so I get 3 ln 5x. Done. Okay, this is what that means by in term of ln 5x. Alright, and then the next one, hence finds the integration for this one. Okay, so this hence over here, you need to use the information in the part 1 and part 2. So what I will do is I will just copy the whole equations in the part 1 here. Of course I have the k value here, so I will just like copy the whole thing. So I know my differentiate 0.4 x power of 5 multiply 0.2 minus ln 5x. I will get negative 2 x power of 4 ln 5x. Alright, so the question actually asked me to integrate this term. That means they asked me to integrate x power of 4 and ln 125x cubed. You just got this one, right? So basically you know you need to integrate this one, and the ln 125x cubed is what you did in the part 2, so which is 3 ln 5x. So I know I can move the 3 in front base, so basically I need to integrate something like this. Alright, and this is the equations I copy from the part 1 over here, and I've realized from here I can easily get this thing, but don't have the 3 here. So that means in order to get 3 here, I will just multiply it myself. So I will show you how do I do that. So the first thing is I will integrate for both sides. I will add the integration symbol here because -2 is a constant value. I can easily take it out. Alright, so in order to get exactly the same thing here, I will multiply the 3 here, and then I multiply the 3 here. Mean I multiply 3 for both sides. So then this is exactly what I want over here. Alright, but I don't want a -2 definitely, so I will just move the -2 to the other side. So integration and differentiation symbol, we can simplify. So -2 I will move to the other side. I will actually get -3/2, and then whatever thing I will just copy. Alright, so this one will be 0.2 minus ln 5x, close bracket, and then close the bracket. Then this one, because -2 I moved to the other side already, I get -3/2. So this one I can copy like this. Yeah, so this is my answer. That's all, 2 mark. Alright, so for this kind of question, it just tests like how much you understand about the integration and how do you move the constant or how you multiply both sides in order to get the thing you want. Okay, of course, there's you also need to know actually how to link what you already done in the part 1 and part 2. Alright, so let's move on to the last question of this video, which is question number 6 here. Okay, show that the roots of px squared plus p minus qx minus q are the real for the all real value of pq. Okay, so we know basically in order to get the real root, mean b squared minus 4ac need to be bigger or equal to 0. Alright, this is the logic to get the real root, because if it bigger than 0, mean we have 2 distinct root, right? So that means we have the 2 distinct root, mean the 2 different root lah. So if you get equal to 0, mean you have 2 equal root, 2 equal and real root lah. I mean in the correct one. So this is 2 equal and real root. So therefore, both also have the real root, right? So if the question doesn't say it's 2 distinct or 2 equal, they only say the word real, so I will assume it's combined of these two, so which is a bigger and equal. So let's see about this question. We know the a, b, and c over here. So I will do the b squared minus 4ac. Because the question asked me to show, so I will not like straight away write the bigger or equal. So I will just assume I do not know, so I will just like substitute the thing into it. P minus q squared. So minus 4, a is p, and my c is just -q. Alright, so I will get something like, expand it, p squared minus 2pq plus q squared. And then this one plus 4pq. Okay, pq and pq I will solve. I will get p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. And if I solve this equation, I know I can factorize, become p plus q, don't it? Square. Alright, because this is p plus q squared, if my p is 2, q is -2, yeah, there's a chance I will get 0. So I will say this thing is bigger or equal to 0. But there's no way I can get negative. Why? Because this is a symbol square. So even my p plus q is -2. After -2 you square, you still get positive 4. So when this is square, that means you will get always positive, right? So if you will get always positive, so I can say it's bigger or equal to 0. The minimum value you can get from the p plus q is 0. So therefore, over here, I just write shown here. Right? This is how we show this kind of question. Okay, so yeah, for the question 7 and to 12, I will actually make it into the second video. Right, I hope like this part 1 of the O-level MF paper, yeah, this is paper 2 too, if not mistaken, yeah, can really help you understand about how to solve the MF question in O-level. Alright, anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any question or any request, yeah, please feel free to post in the comment below, or you can find me in my Facebook page, y equals to mx+c. You just type it in the Facebook. Okay, anyways, I hope this video do really help you. Thanks for watching.